In the heart of power's game, who holds the edge? Not the smartest, strongest, or most experienced, but the one who carries unwavering conviction, even in defeat, a sign not of confidence, but delusion. A force divine, shattering rules and scoffs at failure, rewriting destiny. Machiavelli didn't call it foolishness, he called it essential. When the world doubts, when logic dictates defeat, only the delusional dare to respond with, "I am merely getting started." The world doesn't belong to the reasonable. It thrives on the irrational, the obsessed. The ones who embrace their legends before there's a reason. The madmen, the outcasts, the fools, until they conquer. And then, in an instant, they're celebrated as great. Machiavelli preached results, not reason or moderation. In his Prince, he didn't glorify logic but delusion. For results, more often than not, are born from faith, not fact. What separates a lunatic from a legend? Success. History is filled with forgotten realists, those who waited for the perfect moment or played it safe. But it immortalizes the reckless conquerors who charged into the storm with nothing but belief. Alexander the Great proclaimed himself son of Zeus, literally, not metaphorically. He sought divinity, not a crown. His soldiers fought like they were led by a god. His enemies quivered before one. When you believe your blood is holy, retreat becomes blasphemy. You must win, for anything less violates your identity. Napoleon crowned himself emperor, not in the name of France or God, but with his own hands. Not arrogance, but a statement. I don't need divine right. I am the right. Muhammad faced tribal fury with a message that would have gotten most men executed. Yet he declared it, loudly and repeatedly, in the face of rage. Not because he had armies, but because he had belief. And eventually, belief became empire. These conquerors didn't triumph due to superior resources or tools. They won because they made their self-belief louder than the world's doubt. They refused to see reality as others did. The truth Machiavelli hinted at but dared not shout. In the game of power, delusion often trumps reason. For people don't follow logic or evidence, they follow certainty. Certainty is magnetic, overriding the senses. When someone speaks with total conviction, even if wrong, most people align. Not because the delusional man is right, but because no one dares to question a blaze that burns so fiercely. Look around you. The powerful entrepreneurs didn't wait for flawless plans. Charismatic leaders didn't seek acceptance. Feared competitors didn't care about fair odds. They acted with conviction, creating momentum, forcing others to adjust and bend to their will because they behaved as if victory was already theirs. Delusional belief breeds power. The enemy expects hesitation, fear in your eyes, uncertainty. But the delusional man doesn't wait for proof. He becomes the proof. In a world that rewards courage, wrapped in delusion, that's the man who triumphs. So laugh at the madman, the one who talks like he's already won. But when the dust settles, when fearful ones have fallen, when logic has faltered, he stands tall because he didn't wait for validation. He declared power. He became power. But remember, the delusional man is dangerous. Unshakable by failure, immune to fear, inevitable because he believes in his own myth. Machiavelli would have called this dangerous, but necessary. A prince must create illusions, shape perceptions, tread the line between fiction and dominance. But the greatest illusion of all, the one you cast upon yourself, that's when you become unstoppable. You become a force to be reckoned with. Unleashing the power of weaponized delusion, a guide to dominating with conviction. Ever felt doubt in your next move? Meet those who stride in unafraid, their ambition a sword sharper than truth itself. They wield a weapon more dangerous. Delusional belief. Discover how it can make you unstoppable. The power of delusion. Unlike confidence, delusion doesn't seek feedback or permission. It fuels moves others wouldn't dare attempt. By believing beyond reason, you expand aggression, reach, and risk threshold. Fear your opponent underestimating you. They calculate rational limits, while you transcend them. The Machiavellian truth. Power isn't about being right, it's about being sure. Certainty commands respect, even when wrong, because people crave black and white in a world of gray. When speaking, make declarations, not suggestions. Claim victories before they happen. Dominate through conviction, not facts. Contagious delusion. Delusional belief is contagious. It spreads to those around you, shaping their reality. Your narrative becomes their truth. This is how kings don't beg and leaders don't ask. Appear resolute even when unsure. When you act like a lion, the sheep step aside. The art of delusion. To harness delusional belief, live it. Align every move with your self-invented identity. Don't just talk. Build, train, and conquer before battles exist. Sign your name like a legend. Make others believe in your greatness because they don't want to be the fool who doubted a legend in the making. The power of silence. Delusional belief isn't loud. It's built in silence, rage, and defiance of what the world tells you is reasonable. You don't wait for delusion. You forge it in fire. Born from nothing, it's most powerful when it shouldn't exist. Yet, it does. So, how do you build it? Ready to claim your throne and rule with unwavering conviction? Let's shatter the illusion of permission and forge your own path to greatness. Delusional belief doesn't strike like lightning. It's a construction project, built brick by brick. Are you ready to build? Unleash your inner tyrant, the secret to dominating your world. Ever wondered what sets apart the kings from the peasants, the gods from the ghosts? It's not about survival, it's about domination. Step 1. Claim what's yours. Your enemies will catch up later. The first step to ruling your world is claiming what's already yours. Your success is inevitable, and your enemies will learn this the hard way. Step 2. Speak like a tyrant. Your words are your architecture. Speak with conviction, not uncertainty. People are trained to obey those who speak with certainty, so make your words prophecies, not possibilities. Step 3. Move like you're untouchable. Delusion must be physical. Hold your posture like a general. Make eye contact like a king receiving tribute. Your movements should amplify your legend, not betray your fear. Step 4. Burn the evidence. The world will throw numbers, logic, and statistics at you, trying to prove that you'll fail. But when you light the match, delusion becomes rebellion. Ignore the evidence. Focus on your vision of success. Step 5. Protect the myth at all costs. Once you've built your delusion, guard it like a fortress. Doubt will come from others, from within. Silence the naysayers and protect your belief at all costs. Belief is more intoxicating than love or fear. When people start to believe in you, not because of who you are, but because of how certain you are, you win. And once your delusion is accepted by the crowd, it's no longer delusion, it's destiny. Are you ready to rise and rule? To rewrite your future and change the game? Then embrace your inner tyrant and unleash your weaponized belief upon the world. But remember, with great power comes great responsibility. Use your newfound dominance wisely, and never forget that it was your delusional self-belief that made you who you are today. The power of delusion, unleashing your inner myth. Uncover the hidden cost of self-doubt and learn how to harness delusion for unprecedented success. But be warned, this isn't just about feeling good. It's about becoming a legend. What if you don't believe in yourself beyond logic? What happens when you settle for ordinary instead of pushing past what's possible? The truth is, in the world of power, ordinary is death. No one protects the man who blends in. No one fears the man who conforms. No one follows the man who doubts himself. They forget him, quietly and forever. But delusion, when wielded with intelligence, calculation, persistence, and cold control, becomes more dangerous to your enemies than to you. This is the Machiavellian method. Use the madness, but never let it use you. Stay sharp, stay adaptive, but never surrender your grand belief. Sometimes delusion fails, but when it succeeds, it does so brutally, so outrageously, so undeniably that it rewrites everyone's understanding of what's possible. The same people who laughed at you in the beginning, they'll kneel in the end. Not because you were lucky, but because you were relentless and because your belief didn't bend under pressure. It crushed it. Machiavelli never feared failure. He feared obscurity. He feared being ruled by lesser men simply because they had the audacity to believe in themselves louder than anyone else. So, here's the final calculation. Yes, delusion can destroy you, but it can also deify you. If you're willing to walk that razor's edge, if you're willing to risk everything, then what begins as delusion becomes destiny. But becoming a myth requires more than just belief. You must live like one, turn your wins into lore, guard the illusion with iron discipline, and let others carry the story. This is the ultimate play for power, unleashing your inner myth to create a presence that alters every room you walk into. Are you ready to become the legend? Stay tuned as we delve deeper into this Machiavellian approach and reveal the secrets to crafting your own enduring legacy. Remember, they'll forget the man who doubts himself, but they'll never forget the myth. The power of delusional self-belief. Unleash your inner myth. Ever wondered what fuels the world's most influential figures? Not madness, not blind hope, but a manufactured divinity that transcends reality. We're diving into the forbidden path of those who believe in themselves so fiercely, they force the world to bend. Delusional self-belief is more than just confidence or motivation. It's about igniting a fire within so intense, the world burns before it questions you again. Meet the men who declared victory before the war began, who believed they were chosen long before anyone agreed. They laughed, they called them arrogant. But while they hesitated, these visionaries conquered. Their belief wasn't just a weapon, it was a force that silenced logic and made people forget their flaws. But the road to becoming a myth isn't easy. It starts in the shadows, where you kill the need for permission, speak as if your words shape outcomes, and move like you're already a king. You will be tested. The world will push back, they'll remind you of your place, tell you to be realistic, warn you of the dangers. But here's the real danger, playing it safe. Living invisible. Dying forgettable. Because no one fears a man who doubts himself, no one follows a man who waits for proof. But they will follow a myth. That's the final evolution of belief, when it stops being internal and becomes external law. You don't just believe anymore. You are the belief. Your name enters the room before you do. People speak about you in hushed tones. They wonder what you'll do next. Not because you've proven it, but because your presence feels inevitable. Your reputation becomes prophecy. Your every move calculated theater. Your silence a weapon. Your existence a warning. You've crossed the line. Now legend. And once your delusion has survived long enough, it's no longer delusion, it's destiny. Are you ready to step into your destiny? Like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more brutal truths they never teach. Because here, we don't chase power. We become it.